What's up, guys? My name is Kayla Bundy, and welcome to the first episode of the Finding Hope podcast. I am so stoked to start this, be recording this, and to hopefully have a positive impact on you guys and whoever happens to stumble upon this podcast. I hope there's purpose behind it, and I hope that these episodes that I'm recording just bring so much hope and positivity into your life. So for a little introduction on who I am, I was raised in a really small town in Michigan, and I currently go back and forth a lot, but I'm living in LA. So I have a really unique perspective on being from a small town and the benefits that can come from that, but then also staying rooted in who I am and not losing myself in a big city or wherever I go. So a lot of kind of what I will talk about on my podcast is how to stay yourself or be grounded in the areas that you want to keep root in, and let that transfer over to any place, environment, social, environmental, whatever it is, where you still are always true to who you are, no matter what's around you. I am also a middle child. I have two sisters, so it's all girls. So my middle children out there, I understand your pain, but also we low-key have a lot of benefits that are overlooked, in my opinion. I do social media. I'm a professional dancer, entrepreneur. I'm super obsessed with health and wellness, all things. I'm down to the point where I will make my own almond milks because I don't like the stuff in the store-bought ones. I'm a little obsessive in that, but it brings me a lot of joy. So we will eventually have some episodes later on health and nutrition and all that stuff, because really my heart is so much into the things we put into our bodies. And then what inspired me to start this podcast is I have been so beyond blessed, I feel like, to have had role models in my life that have such a positive, unique outlook on the world. And just growing up, I felt like at times where I didn't have that, it was so needed for me. And so I really wanted to start this podcast to be a friend, a sister, a mentor, to help you in whatever area in your life that you're walking through, going through, or have already been through that you haven't processed or are going to step into. My hope is that I'm able to be a light for you and to help guide and let you know you're not alone in any of that. And there are so many things that you can do in your life to find hope each and every single day. So I wanted to start this podcast essentially just to bring hope into the world and hopefully into your lives. And every single episode, you're walking away feeling stronger, feeling heard, feeling understood, feeling empowered, feeling better, knowing that you have a friend out there, even if we aren't physically close, knowing that I care about you and you have somebody that understands your journey and wants to be a part of it with you. Moving on to what you can expect from my podcast and what it is going to be about. So obviously it's called the Finding Hope podcast, so hope will most definitely be a theme. But essentially I am going to tie hope into every area of aspect of life that you are going through, and how hope is easily found and ways to find it based on whatever topic I'm discussing in that episode. and hope in a relatable sense, hope in an achievable sense, hope you are not alone, hope for the world, why hope is so important and why hope should be in our every single day life. A lot of my episodes are going to be rooted in ways to have hope for change or ways to have hope that you're not alone. So hope that you can do this, or hope that you're not alone in this and we're right here with you. Also, I will be releasing my podcast weekly, so every week, look out for me. I think I'm going to release on Sundays, but haven't decided yet. And I also will be having a guest on once a month. So I'm so excited for those episodes, so make sure you're looking out for those. And if there's anybody that you want me to have on my show, I would love, love, love for you to tell me. Lastly, the topics I will essentially be covering in my podcast are a huge range, but every single episode is going to be ending with tips you can do emotionally, spiritually, and mentally to have a proactive response to the situation that you're in. And whether that's talking about the latest green juice that's trending, or talking about seasonal depression and struggling with eating disorders, anything like that, we're really going to cover a huge broad spectrum. And I'm just here to be a gal's gal and actually be honest and open and vulnerable with you in hopes that it can really help you. Now, to get your input and your feedback and your opinions, which I would absolutely love, I have a Instagram called The Finding Hope Podcast and a Facebook group called The Finding Hope Podcast. I'm also on YouTube under, you guessed it, The Finding Hope Podcast, and TikTok. So, with that being said, there are so many ways that you can connect with me, and I really would love for you to participate in this podcast because this is a community that we are building together, where we are creating friendships, we are creating relationships with one another. So I would love for you to participate in that. And on those different social platforms, I'm gonna have polls on the different topics I might talk about, a whole lot of different ways to engage. I'm going to be listing all of the questions or the tips that I have for each podcast on the Facebook group. And we'll have little discussion centers over there that you are more than welcome to jump into. And I would encourage you to. And really, through any of those platforms, feel free to DM me and tell me what you guys want to hear about. Whether that's boys, whether that's rejection, whether that's friendships, whether it's school, whether it's making decisions for your future, anything, all across the board. I would love to know where you guys are currently at and what's on your mind. And if I can speak into that, I would absolutely love to. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to kickstart this, to just dive right in with you guys and build this amazing community where you feel heard, understood, loved, encouraged, hopeful. We are here to build hope, people, and be the hope for the world. So I love you guys, and I will see you on the next episode.